Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everyone to our Doc Talk. Yours truly, Dr. Lashbrook, President, Founder of Sports Management Worldwide. We got a great staff putting this Doc Talk on today. It's really about you. It's about graduate school and how do you adrenalize today and monetize tomorrow. And a couple ground rules before we get started for you that are new to a Doc Talk. Go down below in the chat room and put in where you're from and your day job. Get to know, you can talk in our class. We're the only class in the world that encourages passing notes to each other. But get to know your neighbors. There's people all over the world that are interested in SMWW. These are our Zoom chats that we do weekly. And I want to welcome everybody. So when you do that, also as I give an introduction, this is about you. So we're going to welcome questions, and you can press that blue button, that blue hand will go up. Ike, Sharice, and Alyssa, and the rest are handling it back at headquarters. I'm down in Palm Desert as we protect the COVID as we get ready for the holidays. But the reason we did this Doc Talk today is to talk about how you can get a start in sports with a graduate degree, and talk about Concordia University-Chicago, which is our premier partnership. But before I start, I want to back up a little bit. I got my start in college athletics at 23 years old. I played ball at Fort Hays State out in western Kansas. They're the ones that are on ESPN right now. They upset Kansas State. They haven't won a game like that in 100 years. But my point is, after college in 1970, if you wanted to work in college athletics, you really you needed a master's. And so I went to Springfield College in Massachusetts, got my master's in a year. And then I figured I would kind of trick the system and I'd start working on my doctorate in Northern Colorado. And that was in those days, kinesiology. There was no sports management program. And 2 years later, I finished all my coursework. I substituted in the daytime, coached in the afternoon, and took night classes. There was no online education. And lo and behold, I was driving back through my alma mater in Hays, Kansas, and they had a position for one semester, teaching physiology, kinesiology, adaptive PE, elements of health, coaching track, which I'd never done. And it just was a crazy time, but I had this piece of paper called a doctorate. And without that doctorate, I never would have been hired. I ended up coaching. I ended up with tenure. I had a great 7-year career there at Fort Hays State. In 1980, with my doctorate, I figured I wanted new challenges, and I went to University of Missouri, where I was the assistant athletic director in charge of academics and compliance. And there it was a great experience and working with a big time program. In 1985, I got not bored, but I wanted a new challenge. With that doctorate, I went over to Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, where I became athletic director. And 3 years there was a phenomenal time at a commuter campus that we turned into a pretty exciting college town. But I still wanted more, so I took a job at University of Alaska Fairbanks in 1988. And what a fabulous time. The wall went down in Germany. We started an exchange program in Russia. We got our hockey team in the CCHA with the Michigan and Michigan States. And I enjoyed 5 years up there. We built facilities, etc. What a great experience. That's 20 years. I wanted to get back to the lower 48 to watch my son play high school ball back in Missouri. And I had a chance to go to Western Michigan University, but turned it down and became a sports agent. Ironically, 3 years in, I had a lot of success. I was fortunate to work with Jim Steiner. And as I was having that success and watching my son finish his high school career, I moved out to Portland, Oregon to start my life over, started teaching at Oregon State. The Jerry Maguire movie came in, and I started SMWW with an agent course. Now we have 35 different courses, all taught by industry leaders. And we have graduates from 163 different countries, over 20,000 graduates. About 10 years ago, we became partnership with Concordia University-Chicago. And the reason we selected them is their incredible reputation, their accreditation, as well as their credibility. I knew some of the faculty there. We created a curriculum, both a master's and doctorate, that allows students online to get a very, very good degree, a robust degree in sports management as we assist them in pursuing jobs. Why are we different? Well, you're going to ask questions today, and I'll talk to you about not only are we cost-friendly, in my opinion, we do things that nobody else does. For example, I do a worldwide chat on Sundays a 3-hour chat every week on Zoom, just like this, where I talk to my students. We have a resume service as well as I'm a referent. I tell my students, when you do a pending enrollment and in a master's or a doctorate, you automatically have an opportunity to maybe get a job while you're finishing your degree, since it's online and it's portable. There's going to be so many opportunities in higher education. COVID has brought a lot of changes, a lot of seismic changes to higher education. Athletics is not going away, whether it's Division I, II, or III, but the landscape is changing. Players are going to be able to get paid at Division I. There's going to be agents involved, et cetera. There's going to be compliance opportunities, marketing opportunities, analytics, et cetera. And with that master's or doctorate, I can assure you the opportunities. I always tell my students there's more colleges than there are professional teams. Often people say they want to work in the NBA, the NFL, the NHL. And if you go back to college, you think about it, so many people started in college. I remember when I was at Missouri, a graduate assistant, Mike Zimmer, is now the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. It goes on and on of people that started in college. And that's why we talk to our students as they navigate whether they want to be an agent or they want to be an athletic director, associate athletic director. I think a lot of times students don't realize the opportunities. I can tell you firsthand at college life, being an athletic director, assistant athletic director is a great way to raise a family. It's exciting. But after COVID, online's here to stay, just like telemedicine and remote working. And it's just something that I think a sports management degree, you need a master's anyhow. If you want to be an agent like in the NFL, NHL, et cetera, you're going to need a master's degree for that case. But many of you could work in college athletics tomorrow with your business background. Many of you have been successful. A master's degree opens 1,000 doors. A doctorate degree opens another 1,000 doors. And so what we want to do today, I'll first introduce Deb Ness to talk a little bit about Concordia. And then we're going to ask you, Ike is running the board here. We'll ask you to raise your hand. I want to answer your questions. This is not a sales pitch. This is a tell pitch. What I mean by that, we want to answer your question and concerns. We want you working in sports, and we think we have opportunities for you, and we think we can introduce you to some new ideas that you might not have thought of, because we think the growth of sports, particularly coming out of COVID and particularly in higher education. If you don't know how to teach online, which I think we're the best in the world at, if you don't have a sports management degree, it's going to be really hard for a university to look at you if you don't have the versatility to teach, administer, coach, etc. And that's the beauty of today. So I'd like to, if Deb Ness is in, tell me if she is. If Deb's in, Deb, I'd like to come to you with a little introduction of your background. Concordia University-Chicago, which I visited many times. I love your beautiful campus. Mm-hmm. Deb, it's a changing world, but we've enjoyed our partnership with you, and we appreciate all you do to help students get enrolled and stay in school. But talk a little bit about Concordia before we open up for questions. Thanks.
Oh, sure, Dr. Lashbrook. And it's just listening to you, it's got me excited again about our partnership and why, as you say, 10, 12 years ago, we joined together as Concordia University and Sports Management Worldwide to form this partnership, offer the programs, and then supplement with each other, supplement the academic side with Sports Management Worldwide. I have a background as starting as a teacher, and then I was coaching and moved up as an athletic director. So I've always had sports as a primary interest. And when, as you said, it comes about the time of 5 years out of school, I wanted to go back for my master's. At the time, I wish they had more sports programs around, but I went into the school counseling because I felt I could reach more students and help students, being in a helping profession, help students find what it is they want to do. So at Concordia, I've kind of found that niche. Concordia has been around for a very long time, initially as a brick and mortar institution. We came about in 1864 as a 100% a teacher's college, and we've grown from as little as 100 students. In 1957, we had our first graduate program, and we had 25 students, which grew to 57. Well, move ahead to today, and we are 80% of all of the work that we do with students is online. And we've got 6,000 full-time students between our undergraduate programs and our graduate programs. And I think our higher education philosophy is we're here to work and help you, future students, discover what are your talents, what are your gifts, and how can you best carry them out to serve the world and to serve others. We're a private liberal arts, vibrant university, and we're designed to help students reach their full potential. So within that framework, we're helping students seek out what it is they want to do with the rest of their life. And we're there to support and help and to work with sports management worldwide to help and support what you want to do with your career goals.
Thank you, Deb. You know, Deb, I appreciate our partnership being an adjunct at Concordia University-Chicago. Mm-hmm. And like I said before, I think one of the separations besides a great university is our hands-on approach. Our staff with our Concordia students, whether master's or doctorate, like I said, the weekly Zoom chat, they can call our office anytime. I introduce them to they want to get a job. We serve as a reference. We really work hard, and we have many assets to go with the Concordia University program and my fellow colleagues there. And Deb, if you stay in, we're going to take some questions from some of our students and hopefully new students.
Absolutely.
You that are in, I'm going to start with those that want to volunteer a question, but I'd like to go around. We have a nice small group. We designed it this way so we could spend some one-on-one time in a doc talk that's supposed to be fun. I just want you to be informed, whether you ever ask a question, whether you ever take a program. I think you'll learn a lot just sitting back and respecting other people's questions and have some fun here. And we'll welcome your questions throughout this hour in this doc talk. So let's go to Jimmy Robinson. I know Jimmy because he's taken an SMWW course. Jimmy, unmute yourself, introduce yourself and your question or comment. And thanks for coming in, Jimmy.
Thank you, Dr. Lashbrook. How are you doing, Dr. Ness?
Good.
All right. So my question is just a little bit, how does the doctorate further opportunities in professional sports and higher education? Because, Dr. Lashbrook's been encouraging me to even look at it, not just in professional sports. So I want to ask just how can it help in both areas, professional and higher ed?
You know, Jimmy, I love the question, but I got to be honest with you. Versatility is the key here. I fell in love with online 25 years ago, just like Concordia's been doing it for years. And the rest of the world 8 months ago converted online. And you'll still read articles. It's not the same as the classroom. Jimmy, you know firsthand, we do online the right way. We have fun in our class. But coming away with a doctorate, if I'm a university, whether I'm Division I, and I want to hire a compliance officer, I want to hire somebody to manage our NIL, which is name, image, and likeness, which is going to be a whole new category, somebody, sports marketing, and you can show a doctorate or a master's, then you could teach a class for us. Now you can kill two birds with one stone in the old metaphor, but that's one way is the versatility. Faculty always feel more comfortable in athletics, the more people that have a terminal degree. Jimmy, I had to be honest with you, I started my career at 23 because I had a doctorate, not because I loved my alma mater and they loved me, and because I got 3 interceptions in one game. I got the job because I had a doctorate. It's a piece of paper, and I say that sincerely. What we do, Jimmy, is we help you land a job. We help you get informational interviews. We want you to get a return on the investment. But coming away with the online philosophy that we've been doing for 25 years automatically goes with your resume and your credentials, as well as a referral and a reference. I was past president of the N4A, which means I met every compliance officer and academic advisor at every university. I've stayed in touch with them. We still are developing partnerships with them. And I think what you know is very important, but who you know doesn't hurt to get that information review. Mm-hmm. And Jimmy, one other thing I want to add before I go back to you with a follow-up, and anybody else that has a question, please raise your hand or we'll go around the room and ask you if there's anything we can do for you. I think the social unrest this summer, the opportunity of diversity and revisiting, we can't hire everybody from Harvard. We can't hire the friends of the friends. We got to look out of the box. And some people want to coach, but if you could teach a class and coach, you've got a much brighter future. The other thing I will tell you, the terminal degree allows you to be considered for an athletic director, a dean, or even a president of a university. And I think too often, too many people that love sports and love the activity in sports and sports management forget what the terminal degree will do to open up your academic future. And remember, many, many successful university administrators go on to the professional levels, MLB, NFL, NHL, NBA, so on. And so that college start, that foundation, I always say there's more colleges, there are professional teams. Jimmy, do you have anything else before I go to Brian in Atlanta?
That's all. I thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Let's go to Brian in Atlanta. Introduce yourself, Brian. Unmute yourself here and
Gotcha.
Come on in. And I'd like to have you introduce yourself and bring me your question or comment to Deb and I. Brian, thanks for coming in.
All right. Well, thanks for the invite. I appreciate it. My name is Brian Holland. I live in Atlanta. You can probably see over here my Atlanta United banners. Big soccer fan here. But, in general, just a sports fan altogether.
Yeah.
The reason why I came into this this Zoom today is because when I was in college, I was in sports information. I was an assistant first of all, a student assistant in the sports information department.
Where, of course, where?
Oh, I'm sorry, at the University of North Texas.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, Arlington,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then after graduation, I got promoted to the assistant sports information director, where I oversaw all the women's programs,
Right.
along with some of the men's programs as well. The unfortunate thing is that during that time frame in the mid 90s, a lot of Title IX programs were
Right.
being implemented and so forth,
Right.
and my position was eliminated. So tried to stay in the business with a full-time job, but wasn't able to. So basically, for the last 25 plus years, I've been in another field. However, I've still kept in the college athletics and the professional athletics realm by doing events, did Final Fours here, regional sites. I do SEC women's basketball tournament every year. I work with Atlanta United, the Dallas Stars.
I love this background. What's a dream job for you? Let's talk about that.
Well, funny that you mentioned that. Since I took early retirement due to the pandemic,
Right.
I am looking to get back into athletics.
Yeah.
I want to get into the administrative part of it.
Yes.
More so, like a director of operations, so
Right.
to speak. And that's where.
Do you have a master's or doctorate?
No, I don't. I just have a
So
bachelor's.
let me be honest with you. You've got a great career, and congratulations. Yes, COVID is here, but I want to tell you something. I'm confident if you enroll in the master's, pending master's, you got 2 credit hours you're enrolled in. I'm a reference. You come to our Zoom every week like we're doing here. We'll start doing informational interviews because you have talent. You haven't lost that talent that you had. And I believe in getting paid for your passion. I think you're way too young to retire. But the online component, the sports management affiliate relationship, the Concordia reputation, I'm very confident with your background, you bring a lot to the table. I think we could jumpstart your new career. And I wouldn't tell you this if I wasn't confident, because it's not worth it. So you stay where you are, you keep dabbling in what you're doing besides retirement, get the adrenaline going of online. It's a new world. If you don't understand online, you're not marketable anymore. There's no university on earth that can afford to move forward without a large component of online. And the difference between online here with Concordia and Sports May Worldwide is we do it with fun and with vigor. We have fun doing it. And you'll be able to take that DNA in those informational interviews. And I'm extremely confident that we can change your path, your career path. But I don't want to oversell, but absolutely you have a great background and we need to get you back in college athletics, and college athletics needs you. Let's go back to you with your follow-up before I take our next question from Cody Stratton.
Well, I was just going to say, ironically, my previous job, I spent 20 years in field instructing training as well. So I've got that quote unquote teaching background, and I have a degree in television film. So my major in college was sports broadcasting. So I've got that as well. So yes, that's the reason why I want to get back into sports.
Brian, we would love to get you fill out that application, and I'll show you how quickly Deb and Alyssa work. And all I'm asking you to do is trust me with enrolling 2 classes, get comfortable, get excited, meet people all over the world, and come into my Zoom chat on Sundays. And I guarantee you we can flip that career overnight. I just very impressed with your background, and thank you so much for coming in. Let's go to Cody Stratton with your introduction. Cody, thanks for coming into this Doc Talk.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You bet. Go ahead with the introduction.
So my name is Cody Stratton. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa. I'm currently doing an internship right now with Global Sports Analytics. And what we do is we assist teams in Germany and Belgium, basketball teams with video editing, scouting, analytics reports, stuff like that. So this past year, I graduated with a degree in sport management from Central Missouri. And just kind of, I'm kind of on the fence whether to get a master's right now or to find work and get practical experience. But so down the line, I kind of want to work in basketball, either as a scout, video coordinator, something along those lines.
So Cody, let me share with you, and I know where Central Missouri is, and Jerry Hughes, my good friend, the athletic director. Here's your secret, and I think it happened to me back in 1973, versatility. I know where your passion is, but if you also could teach a freshman sports management program, because we're going to teach you the skill sets for that, as well as a master's from an accredited university, they're going to love the versatility because they can't afford to just hire you for basketball and digital or analytics. So you've got to be versatile. And I think it's a no-brainer. And again, I don't want to come across salesy, but a guy like you, remember at 23, I had my doctorate work done. I broke all the rules, and it's been a 50-year career because of that. And I can assure you, you trust us a little bit here. You know us a little bit. That master's, pending master's, will give you more informational interviews and possibly a job while you're finishing your master's than just going with the idea you love basketball and your background. That's just my opinion, and you would sure enjoy doing it.
Master's degree. The master's degree, I mean, it'll end the doctoral, pay for itself 10 to 12 times over, right?
Yes. Thank you, Deb. That's good. Deb, I get so excited. I forget you're sitting there waiting to talk. So I apologize for that.
No, that's okay.
And I told Cody, Deb, I have a little secret strategy. That pending master's and doctorate, because it's a portable degree, you could actually take a job and finish your degree. I know from the employer standpoint, when I see that versatility, also I see the motivation of somebody like a Cody that wants to get ahead in life, that's not just looking for a job. Cody, let's go back to you with your follow-up, because I love your background.
Yeah, so I assume that the master's program is probably pretty flexible as far as people with jobs.
Yes, it is. But Deb, I'll let you comment on that because that's our secret sauce, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, our students come out of our master's in sports leadership. I mean, when you think about the courses that we offer, we've got sports promotion, sports finance, so you're learning that end of it, sports administration, leadership. We're strong on leadership skills within all of our master's programs. And we also teach a sports ethics course. So it's this degree isn't going to lead you to the job. It's what are you taking from the degree with whatever your interest may be after you finish these 11 courses, which will go by super quick, and taking what you learn from this and applying it to your style, your leadership in whatever field you want to grow in.
Anything else, Cody?
No, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do this.
Cody, you know what I would do? I'd fill out the application free of charge, it's very easy to get enrolled. You can even use your your transcript, your informal transcript, if I may, unofficial, if I may. We'll work through. There's no, Deb, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no test score requirement now with COVID, et cetera. Anything else I should add?
No test scores. No, it's easy peasy online application. Get us a copy of your transcript, and we can even provisionally admit you until you have time to order an official transcript and get it here.
Cody, thank you so much. It's good to have you in. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to mentor you. Remember, lifetime membership in our worldwide chat. I'm there for you. I have paid my dues in college athletics, and Deb was talking about the ethic course. I really believe that, we focus on the ethical compass. We talk about illuminating it. I came up with a term called guthics, the guts to enforce ethics. It's easy to talk about ethics, but we teach the guts of enforcing ethics. I take pride in our ethical background as a company and all our students. I also want Brian to know, back at Atlanta, Darren Eels, the president of the Atlanta soccer organization, is a good friend of ours. He's spoken at our conference before when he was in England. We're very connected. And what we try to do is get you informational interviews. And we never guarantee a job because that's fraudulent. But we're always confident we can make sure you get a return on your investment. So that's why I'd like you to at least fill out an application, give us a chance, and have some fun with it. Let's go to Dwayne, another guest of ours. Dwayne, come in, unmute your mic, and come on in. Dwayne, unmute that mic. Ike, you got him unmute. There you go. Dwayne, welcome in.
I'm here. Hey, how you doing? How's everyone doing?
Good. Come on in.
Good. I'm not sure if I really have a question. My name is Dwayne Schlissman. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina.
What I tell students, if you have no questions, that means you have all the answers. So we're really glad to have you in.
Yeah, hi, Dwayne.
I wish I had all the answers.
Yeah.
I talked to Dr. Lashbrook earlier today.
Yeah.
I've already sent my application in for the master's program. I'm just waiting for my two reference letters and hopefully get accepted and be able to get started. But yeah, I'm excited. I've been looking at SMWW and all that for about the last couple of years, and finally got my bachelor's degree and ready to jump into it.
And Dwayne, I got to be honest, I remember our conversation. I'll let Deb talk, but and I'm one of the references because I interviewed you, and Concordia supports me if I interview and recommend you. But Deb, any other comments on the application procedures?
Yeah, I'm specifically for Dwayne that right after this call, I'll look it up and see where you're at. But an application, a transcript, eventually we'll need an official transcript, 2 letters of recommendation, and a short objective statement. In other words, what's your interest in the program so we can help you? And that'll do it for the master's program. It's very easy, it's quick, and we'll get you started. Dwayne, were you planning to start in our January term?
Yes, ma'am. I was talking to Dr. Lashbrook, and you all have everything. I've already ordered my official transcript. You have my unofficial. You have my statement. It's a little bit longer than a short statement. I apologize. But yeah, the only thing I'm waiting is like 2 reference letters. So
yeah, I love reading those statements. I get a lot of enjoyment and get to know our students that way.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Dwayne, I got to be honest with you. You're right. I do talk to every applicant. I'm accessible. Our office is accessible. Like I said, every Sunday up to 3 hours, I will take your questions. We'll discuss issues of the week. There's so many issues going on in higher education and sports and college athletics and COVID. Mm-hmm. It's a very exciting time. But when you have that piece of paper, that degree to go with your aspirations to coach and to work in athletics, you're really way ahead of the curve. We're going to accelerate. We want you to get a return on the investment. The last thing we want is this degree on the wall. We're focused on the wall, and we'll work with you on that. And thank you so much for coming in. Let me go down to George as a guest. George, come in, unmute your mic and come in with your introduction. George, welcome in.
Okay, unmute myself. Okay.
We got you, big guy.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Lashbrook. Thanks for doing this today. And we, I like the others. I wanted to kind of hear what what the program was all about. I know SMWW very well. I've actually taken the hockey coaches and GM course, so I have taken some courses through SMWW, and I've enjoyed the different casts that you promote, and so I'm here to see what that might look like as far as the doctorate, the different courses that you have, and how to apply and everything else. So I'm a sponge right now. I'm just trying to take it all in.
George, let me ask, what do you do now for a living? Remind me.
Yeah, I'm right now I have a consulting firm. I'm actually in project management. I was a national director for a construction company, but through COVID, things sort of turned around, it changed, and I opened up my own company. So I'm actually doing
And do you have a master's degree?
I don't have a master's, and that's why I was on here. I was looking at that.
Yeah. George, I'm pretty confident with your background, those business skills. And Deb will, I think, concur this, but we're looking for talent and from all walks of life. The academic traditional role of a master's and doctorate, maybe no experience, and get into the classroom. It's a new world out there. You have a wealth of industry experience. That master's gets you in the club for higher ed, particularly with your passion for hockey and taking an SMWW course. And I'm confident if you flip that resume by having a pending master's, which is easy to get enrolled in, start with 2 classes. Don't make a commitment to complete. You'll get excited about it. But you start doing informational interviews at universities that have hockey, and they go, oh my gosh, we can get a hockey guy that does hockey analytics. We can get a guy that hockey instruction, and also somebody can teach our sports management class. Why? Because you're learning from the best, not just me, but our 50 faculty in the world. We become a friend on your resume, the SNWW relationship. We have hundreds of students around the world that send their, that are former students, that are teachers that send their students to us, because our toolbox is full of opportunities to complement that university. And universities fall in love with the relationship in your background. So I can be honest with you, I don't think you're wasting your time. I'm the one who can drink the Kool-Aid. I started my whole career through college athletics. I have not one regret, except there was no online education. I want to tell you something, 3-hour classes at night, 4 times a week while I'm coaching and raising a family. I'll never forget those days. Deb, your comments too, George.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, back in the day when everything was face-to-face, not nearly as convenient as it is now. When we talk about, Dr. Lashbrook talks about taking 2 classes, jump in, take 2 classes. I just want you to know that our classes are shorter. They're 8 weeks in length. So we're not talking about a 16-week course. 8 week, you take 1 class at a time, but you're taking 2 classes for the whole semester. Convenient, online, it's asynchronous, which means you're going into your course, responding, submitting your papers, posting to discussion boards at any time that you want. It could be 2 a.m. It could be 10 a.m. The benefits are it's extremely flexible with your day job or your night job and your family obligations.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you. And let's go to our next guest, Young Zernich. I may have that wrong. Young Zernich, unmute your mic. And if I make enunciations wrong the first time, I make up for it the second time. Welcome in with your introduction. Thanks for coming into this Doc Talk.
I appreciate you having me. It's actually John Gersnich.
Okay, then I wasn't me. I wasn't so bad there. It wasn't some foreign name I've never been to.
Trust me, that last name's been butchered several times in the course of my life.
Tell us your story. Tell us your story.
But John is easy.
Yeah, John's very easy. So my parents did me a favor there. My story is I'm in my 25th year in secondary education. I have a sport management master's and also an educational leadership master's. I'm an assistant principal, a head boys basketball coach. But I had 13 years of college coaching at the junior college level.
Wow. Which junior college?
And
which junior college?
I was the head coach at Spoon River College. I was there 9 years, 7 as a head coach, and then I was at Southeastern Iowa and Burlington, Iowa for 4 as an assistant coach.
I love it. Remember, I know where Hutchinson is, and that's the state or the junior college championship every year in basketball. I grew up in Kansas, so I know. So go ahead with your question.
Well, my question is, it's really, it's more about, I would be interested in the doctoral program for several reasons. A, for the achievement factor, but also you're talking a little bit about the return on investment. It's a big investment. I have 8 years left in this. Yeah. If I choose to remain at this level of education before I can retire, but some days I'm not sure I can make it 8 more years.
So let me share something with you, and I'll let Deb talk. I relate to what you said. All my colleagues, I grew up in education, and I admire what your success has been. And I know the challenges, and even coaching middle school, particularly with COVID, I know the challenges. I can assure you that you're so qualified for the next level, and that starting out with a pending doctorate and with me as a reference, you'll get introduction, whether it's the University of Iowa working in the basketball office and teaching sports management, whether it's being associate AD in charge of academic advising, whether it's compliance. You bring a tremendous background. The piece of paper, yes, is necessary. I think you would absolutely have a glorified second career, if I may, and you might not believe that it can happen right there in your own backyard without quitting your day job or leaving your family. You're exactly why I think online is the future. It's accessible to opportunity, asynchronous, so you don't have to make a disruptive decision. And I just urge you to try it and then see where it leads, because what we're doing in sports management, you and I grew up in a time it wasn't really sports management. Online wasn't totally the package it is today. And I'm proud of my 72 years in sports, maybe 70. I started playing catch with my dad at 2 years old. I used to say 5, but I get enthused about how long I've been in sports. But somebody with your background, it is a no-brainer that you could be credentialed quickly as you're working your way through the doctorate. Again, I don't want to come across salesy. I pass the mic to Deb for a conversation with somebody with that profile.
Yeah, John, when I heard you talk, so you're a teacher, you're an administrator, you're a coach, you're a leader. You're perfect for this program. The doctoral program is, if you want an EDD, we're looking at 61 credits. A PhD is 67 credits. So it's 2 courses in addition. And this is a doctorate in leadership with an emphasis on sports and administration. So your coursework is going to take you about 2.5 to 3 years. And then the rest of it, 2 semesters, or as long as you would like, up to 10 years. We cut you off at 10 years. We hope no one takes 10 years, but then you're working on your dissertation. And that's when it really gets exciting. So look at it, look at the big picture as not you're sitting in all these courses, but 30 credits with the specialization. And in the second half, you're working on your dissertation with someone who's also a leader in the field. I think you're a perfect candidate for
John,
this program.
Thank you, Deb. John, what's your follow-up question? Because before the online world came on, I will share this with you. So many colleagues call me every day and they kind of pat me on the back, because 25 years ago, we were one of the first, if only, doing online sports business courses. But to be honest with you, they send a lot of students our way. But my question to you is, do you want to relocate or stay in the area? Because there's colleges in every neighborhood.
I think ideally right now I'd say stay in the area would be, my 2 master's degrees are from Western Illinois University, and that's 45 minutes away. And, but we'll see where life takes me.
And John, I used to be athletic director at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. But what's interesting, and when I moved out to Portland, I just drove up to the Oregon State campus and met the HPER chairman, and they really didn't have sports management because they couldn't find anybody to teach it. I said, well, I'm getting married. I'm here. You might as well hire me. And they did. But you'd be surprised immediately just by taking 2 classes, you could actually do some adjunct online, whether it's Western or Eastern. I kid you not. And I'm not interested in having you invest in something and not get a return on the investment. Deb will tell you this about SMWW. We look you straight in the eye. If we don't think we're a good match, we'll tell you. But when we think you are a good match, we try to encourage you. And that's what I'm saying to you. I really appreciate you coming in, asking these questions, because it's fun to talk to you. And I just, again, I like who we are, but I like when we talk to somebody like you, it just is an obvious match for us if we had the opportunity. Anything else, John, before I go to Jimmy Robinson again with this question, and then I'll definitely go to Isaiah?
No, not at this time. I appreciate the words of wisdom, though. Thank you.
Thank you. And use that chat room down below. I used to get in the hallway during the classes from high school, grade school, and we encourage people to write notes to each other in Zoom chats. Let's go back to Jimmy before I go to Isaiah. Jimmy, unmute your mic and bring back your question. Good to have you stay in, Jimmy.
Definitely. I know you mentioned earlier about the dissertation process. I know you formulated the curriculum. So what exactly is the dissertation component comprised of? How's it different from a capstone in your master's? And my second follow-up question is just the COVID. I know you mentioned how's that changed? And the last time we spoke, how COVID has changed the administration and professional and collegiate.
Sure. So real quickly, before I pass it to Deb to talk about the dissertation versus the project, EDD versus PhD. And Jimmy, it's a great question. Here's my thoughts, being in higher ed for 50 years, almost all capacities. To be honest with you, and I talk to my colleagues every day, there'll be a lot of universities that don't survive. And those that do survive are going to need versatility, as I mentioned before. But there's going to be new opportunities. And everybody on that staff in athletics, anybody can teach an online course, brings a universal quality to trying to get the business model to work. They need versatility, just like I taught those 12 hours and coached football and track when I was at Fort Hays. That hasn't changed. But the new opportunities for the business of sports management is where I think the opportunities are. And the versatility is the key to that. And so I love that idea. And so some of you will be full-time professors. Some of you will be part-time teachers and coaches. Some of you will be just administration, but you'll have the doctorate. The faculty love working with athletics in that department, because we're going to be paying athletes. There's going to be additional positions in compliance, and SMWW courses complement that doctorate and master's program. But Deb, I'll let you talk about, we get that question every day, EDD, PhD.
What's the difference?
I'm an EDD guy, and to be honest with you, until I started this company, nobody even asked, because nobody asked. But go ahead, Deb, with your.
But that's
your
true.
comment.
That's true, Dr. Lashbrook. Who's gonna ask you? Do you have an EDD or a PhD? They're gonna ask you that. They're gonna say, do you have your doctorate? And you'll say yes. Very basically, the difference between the two, an EDD is the practitioner. That's the 61 credits. A PhD is you're a researcher, and you're taking 6 extra credits in research courses. So you have you have a research background, and that's something you want to continue to use and move forward, versus an EDD who's more practical. You are the coach, you're the administrator, you're the athletic director. You asked about the dissertation too, I think, Jimmy, right?
Yes.
Okay. So your dissertation is, look at it like at the master's level, you have a capstone where you write a paper, a thesis. This dissertation is a ginormous capstone. So you're actually writing a book, and it's 5 chapters. And your dissertation is, right now we've got it scheduled for 3 full semesters. You can take longer if you need, but during that time, you're working with one person. So it's kind of like an independent study. You're not going to a class, you're not turning in assignments, you're researching. Your first thing you'll do is come up with a proposal, which is your topic. You know, what are you going to write about? What's of interest to you? After you've taken all these doctoral level courses with us, what's of interest? What area do you want to research? So you'll do your research, you'll do all your writing, you'll come up with your proposal, and you'll write and you'll rewrite. And then at the very end, you'll defend your proposal in front of this group you've grown to love. It's called your dissertation committee, where you'll have a dissertation chair, you'll have a reader and a methodologist, and you will be the expert in your field of that topic at the very end.
Yeah. Deb, I also want to add, I even have a student in another doctoral program, but he was an SMWW student. And because of my background, I'll mentor. And Jimmy, an example is this student is doing his dissertation on the impact of the NIL, the name, image, and license to college athletics, and the CFB, which the Knight Commission has recommended separate itself from the NCAA. These are trends and robust changes going on that nobody has a dissertation in the library on. And that's what we're going to do. I'll be there for you with my 50 years experience to assist you, as Deb said, with the dissertation people. Thank you so much, Jimmy. We're going to go. We got a couple more here that we want to see if there's any questions on. Let's go to LeBray Woodburn. LeBray, welcome in with your introduction. Good to have you in for this Doc Talk on CUC Masters and Doctorate. Welcome in, LeBray. Can you unmute your mic? LeBray Woodburn? I can't get her, so we'll go to Nick Meyer next. Nick, you want to unmute your mic? Whoever comes in. There we go. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I'm actually in between work meetings, so I won't be able to stay long.
Okay, well, go quickly. Who are you? Where are you? And what do you want?
Hello, I'm Nick Myers. I'm in Seattle right now.
Yeah.
I'm from Chicago originally. I'm a SMWW alum. I'm a Concordia Chicago alum.
Thank you.
I took the hockey general management and scouting course the winter of 2018, I believe. Yeah. And I finished my master's this summer. And I guess, what do you tell somebody in my shoes or similar shoes that, spent so long waiting for this moment to finish the WW course, to finish my master's? And then now it's just like, I kind of feel like I'm waiting again.
So let me ask you, what's a dream job for you? Let's get real specific here so you don't get fired.
I would like to work in hockey operations. I'm like many other people. I would like to be a general manager at some point, but I'm just looking to get my foot in the door in an admin role or an operation.
And you're in Seattle right now.
Yes.
So you have that master's. I want you to think about some information reviews. There's going to be a lot of colleges starting up hockey in Seattle because the Kraken, the new NHL expansion team, that's one way to go. The master's alone is not the game changer for the NHL, but it doesn't hurt. We have a lot of our graduates, including Nick Nurse getting his doctorate, the NBA Coach of the Year at Toronto. But I would say to you, what you've taken at SMW in that master's, I would also try to navigate and be an adjunct. I would seriously look at the doctorate, at least 2 classes to separate yourself. Whether it's Seattle University or University of Washington, you've got a unique background. I want you to be able to monetize this. But the masters, I would look at, or even the small schools, Pacific Lutheran or others around there, Puget Sound. I would look at seeing if you could teach a sports management course to get the world in sport. I would also do information interviews with the Kraken. I'd also consider the doctorate. Now, remember, I'm not trying to upsell here. I think you're on your way. I admire what you've done so far, but you can't give up. And I love college athletics because there's more colleges. And I think there's going to be a wealth of growth in hockey in the Northwest with the Seattle Kraken, just like the Las Vegas team has impacted the Southwest. Deb, you want to add anything to that?
I can't top that, Lynn. That's absolutely fantastic. But I do want to add one quick little thing. You mentioned Nick Nurse. Dr. Lashbrook, talk about, when you come to class, we look at what students can offer us. And as you're sitting in one of our master's or a doctoral level courses, you have to think about the people that are sitting around you and what you can learn from them. Dr. Lashbrook, talk about some of the people who have gone through our programs.
Well, we have many, and my favorite is Nick Nurse, of course, and others, and one of our faculty members, Dee Lynham, is doing it. John Ross will be in Monday in a Doc Talk. got his master's with CUC. He's a video coordinator with the Trailblazers. Chris Zorick, former NFL player, became an athletic director after taking our course. Craig Warkentine, University of Washington for years in the basketball. Mark Warkentine, NBA executive, was in our program. Travis Soneros is an NFL agent. Rob Fry, an NHL or NFL agent, and it goes on and on. But I will share this with you. When you meet friends, your classmates, and online, they became friends forever. And I got to be honest with you, that's the beauty of the networking, not just the who you know, but what you know. And I got to be honest with you, what Nick is talking about. Nick, we're going to stick with you. You're passionate about what you do. I think you got to be creative strategy. And I go back to the doctorate because very few sports management hockey people have a doctorate. And there's a lot of hockey programs out there. If you could teach some sports management courses and work in the hockey program, whether it's Michigan or Michigan State, you'd be shocked. Remember, I got hired because I could teach 12 classes. I wanted to coach football. I got to scout football. I didn't get a coach. I wasn't an assistant coach full paid. I had to do all that other stuff. If we have to go through the back door to follow your passion, it's called the walk-on approach. And I think you have the tools to do that. Do you have any other question, Nick, before I go to Abraham?
No, I do not. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Let's go to Abraham. Unmute your mic, Abraham, as we get close to the hour, and I'm going to ask Deb some questions. We're recording this chat for anybody that couldn't make it in of the registered, and that happens a lot. We record all our chats. We're here to serve you asynchronously. Never leave your family, never quit your day job. And if you're not having fun, I even say, don't bring a mask, but you can bring a flask. Now, Deb wouldn't condone that from Concordia's standpoint, but we have a lot of fun in our classes. Let's go to Abraham with your introduction and questions or comments. Thanks for coming in, Abraham.
Yeah, so I'm younger. I'm only a college kid, but I basically just wanted to, so I'm looking to get a GA role, graduate assistant role, and I was wondering like what exactly I should study in that role, because I have to, it's a kind of a twofold thing. You go to school and then during the day you help out.
Where are you going to school?
Tulane
And
University.
you're working in the athletic department, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right.
I want everybody to hear this, and that's the SMWW story. I think what you've done, taking our courses and navigating, I think you're going to be a top attraction for graduate school. When you can do the digital video editing or the analytics, I so admire what you're doing. Too often kids sit in the classroom for 4 years. If you can't, you need to be working that athletic department, which you're doing. I think you're going to pick and choose the graduate assistantship, the complementary courses at SMWW. I also would think out of the box. When you go to a graduate school to get assistantship and work in their football office, I want you to consider after that master's getting that doctorate. I mean, you could be an AD someday, even though you're passionate about football. You could be a GM someday. I think you'll be shocked. Why would Nick Nurse get a doctorate in the NBA? He doesn't care if you have a doctorate. He wanted to better himself. And Nick Nurse may be a college president someday. Who knows? Coaching sometimes is a short term. But I just admire what you've done. And what we do with a lot of students off the CUC track when they're an undergrad, we try to get them a skill set so they get over to that Alabama football office that senior year. And I go back to Mike Zimmer, graduate assistant Missouri, head coach of the Vikings, Russ Ball, assistant strength coach, is the executive vice president of the Green Bay Packers and in charge of salary cap. So, Abraham, I just admire you, but I would keep your eye on what Concordia can do for you as we assist you as a reference as you navigate. I think you're doing a lot of great things right now. Anything else, Abraham?
I think that's it. Thank you, though.
Okay,
Appreciate
I'm going to look. I'm going to try to get. Did Isaiah stay in? I guess he didn't. Megan, I'm going to go to you. Megan, unmute your mic only because you're an intern with us, and talk a little bit about a master someday. Megan, do you have any question?
This is just all interesting to hear about because I'm still doing my undergrad at Portland State. One question I did have, though, was how were the CUC master's courses different from just like the SMWW courses?
I love it. That's a great question. And I'll answer part of it, and then I'll let Deb come. And I miss you, and I'll be glad when you get rid of your finals so we can get you back in the office. Megan's an intern, and she's our social media intern working with Alyssa, and it's exciting to have young people work in our office. Our 8-week courses are very similar to Concordia. I think they're taught by industry leaders. They're a little more on the specific practical side, like a scouting or baseball analytics or digital video editing. They're very complementary. Most of our CUC students take an SMW course as well. So ours are more on the industry practicality. And then I think the Concordia, and I'll let Deb talk about leadership and the foundation, more on the academic side to fit the academic mission of a university, even though you're working in athletics. So we feel that we're complementary to each other. I love your question, Megan. Deb, you want to add to that? And then I'll close out with a couple questions. And
Sure.
Another Doc Talk comes and goes in an hour.
Right, went by quickly, but you're absolutely right. More of an academic focus. 8 weeks, students are graded, follow satisfactory academic progress towards a degree. We probably have more research to do and assignments to do, and you're learning on your own as you are working through the course.
Thank you so much. One more guest, Isaiah Grady, who's one of our students, an intern in our office for a year. Isaiah is in the program. Isaiah, talk a little bit, and then Ike, I'm going to ask Deb of closing questions that'll go in the archive recording for the 80 people that registered. I'm so delighted that all of you could find time today. Isaiah, introduce yourself and your question or comment. Thanks for coming in.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. Isaiah Grady here from Denver, Colorado. I work as an agent advisor under SMWW, and I was fortunate to do an internship with them last year. And right now I'm currently in the master's program for Concordia University. And who would have ever thought? I would have never thought about this 10 years ago, you know, but yeah. I feel like all the coursework, everything that's prepped me is from taking the classes. The SMWW courses has prepped me for the master's program. So I'm really enjoying it. I just started this semester right now. And I guess my question for Deb and Lynn is, how do you guys keep yourself motivated in what you do every day?
Well, I get to go first, and then I'll let Deb speak. And Isaiah, thank you. And I got to be honest with you, Isaiah is an agent advisor. He's getting his master's so he can qualify to take the NFLPA exam, a master's degree. There's another reason to get a master's for those that want to be a sports agent in certain categories, etc. Isaiah went to Northern Colorado. Guess what? I got my doctorate in Northern Colorado. I tell people I'm Johnny Cash. I've been there. I've been everywhere. I think I have for a moment. But Isaiah, I think that I keep excited and stay young. I got a beautiful wife and a beautiful company, great staff. We laugh all day. I love helping people. And when I say adrenalize today and monetize tomorrow, I mean get paid for your passion. It happened to me. I've never left sports, and I remember throwing my first ball. And that's how I keep saying is I enjoy helping people. Deb, your comments, and then we'll close out.
Right. I would say the same. Get paid for your passion, then it's not really work. I did obtain my master's degree here at Concordia. And as I said earlier, it was in counseling to help students. So what keeps me motivated is I love talking to students like yourself, Isaiah, and getting them into a program that fits their needs.
Okay, Deb, you have a minute here. So this is kind of a game show. I have 3 basic questions here because a lot of people are listening. They can follow up and call our office. But sure. Deb, admissions, there's no GRE, no application fee. Explain that.
Correct. Most schools, you'll have to pay an application fee before they'll even go to the next step and to start to process your app. We are totally free. You apply. It's a quick app online. As soon as we get your application, we start processing you. You can even start the program without having any documents here. You can start as a guest student.
Deb, how long or short? And I say short because I believe once you start the program, you're marketable. That's just my opinion. That's my trick.
Absolutely.
But what's the shortest and longest on master's doctorate for the accelerated student?
Yeah. Well, they take 2 classes we're 18 months is a good average, everyone getting through all of the courses. Some students, depending on your work schedule, some students want to go full-time. They'll take 3 courses per semester. So they can cut off 9 months of that 18 months.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty
you
good.
can kind of get it done in a little over a year if you really push and go full time.
So Deb, we know Alyssa and SMWW's phone number and everything, but if a student wanted to go directly, they're getting all their papers in, they have a CUC question, because we are partners, but partners mean that there's 2 offices. How do they get a hold of you or your staff if they need something?
Yeah, they can call our office line direct. It's 708-209-4093. And we have people here manning the lines, and we'll get you in connection with myself or one of my colleagues to help answer your questions.
Deb, I want to thank you. I want to thank our staff, our team, Ike, Alyssa, and Sharice. Adam is in. Adam, I'm going to introduce you for a moment. I don't know if anybody didn't get their questions answered, but Adam, just explain what your role is and how they can work with you if they want to stay in. I doubt if anybody feels like they didn't get their questions answered today. To me, Adam, it was a really good doc talk. Do you have a comment, Adam?
No, I think it was a great doc talk. Good to see Isaiah and Jimmy in, and nice to kind of meet Megan. Haven't been able to meet her down at the office yet, but and Sharice, getting to see Sharice in person. Actually, I've been with Lynn for 6 or 7 years now, I believe it's been. Lynn met me back when I was in the restaurant industry here in Portland, and couldn't get DirecTV because of tree coverage at his house, and started talking to Dr. Lashbrook in regards to my dream of, working in sports. And I took our athlete management course and have represented several players now in the NFL and NBA. And I did that through our course, but kind of like Isaiah, eventually, I might look at getting my master's degree, for the simple fact you need one of those to qualify to take the NFLPA exam. And I also heard some questions in regards to, people getting GA positions and getting into coaching, which obviously you're eventually going to need your master's to do that as well. So I think those are all great questions. And like Deb has said, and Dr. Lashbrook, it's just the more you can add to your resume, whether it's taking one of our courses or getting a master's or doctorate, it just makes you so much more marketable in all aspects of sports. So yeah. My role currently is I work part-time on the sales side, part-time on the agency side. I oversee all of our agent advisors. I do a chat on Wednesday night going over prospects, how to recruit them, how to get them signed, how to get marketing endorsement deals for them. And I'm glad to answer any more questions that you guys might have when it comes to Concordia. I think that's been well covered, or any of our courses, or doing agent work. So I put my email address into the chat. It's just adam@smww.com. If you have any questions, or feel free to ask questions now if you would like. And I'd like to thank Deb for taking the time to come in and go over the CUC program and all the successful graduates that have come out of it.
My pleasure.
Adam, thank you so much. And Deb, go ahead.
No, I said my pleasure. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much. And I want to say, I don't know if Adam needs, I don't know if they got all their questions there. We had a small enough group, even though we had 80 people register, we knew it'd be short this time of year and with Christmas. I wish everybody happy holidays. I can't wait to get the vaccine. Deb, if we could offer that at SMWW, I think enrollments would spike. I'm working on that as a exemption, but we'll see how that goes. Listen, have some fun. Call our office anytime. We'll work with you day or night. We want to help you get paid for your passion. Remember, adrenalize today and monetize tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next Doc Talk next week.
Merry Christmas,
Thank you very
everybody.
much. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.